Step 1. Master the first hour of your day. Have you ever noticed how a single morning can shape the entire tone of your day? Think about it. When you wake up feeling sluggish, scrolling through your phone, rushing out the door, it feels like you're chasing the day, always one step behind. But when you start your morning with purpose, the rest of the day bends to your will. This isn't just a motivational cliché. It's a Stoic truth. Marcus Aurelius himself began his mornings with reflection, asking, "What is my duty today? What will I face, and how will I act?" The first hour after you wake up is your most powerful weapon against chaos. Your mind is fresh, your willpower is untouched, and your distractions are at their lowest. But here's the trap most people fall into. They waste this golden hour on autopilot. Checking notifications. Answering emails. Consuming the noise of the world before even taking control of their own thoughts. The Stoic way is different. You claim that first hour as sacred. So what should it look like? It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a 20-step morning routine that takes 2 hours and 3 cups of coffee to complete. You just need intentionality. For example, wake up and breathe, not just to live, but to notice that you are alive. Sit quietly, even if only for a few minutes, and direct your mind toward what matters most today. Journal. Stretch. Read something that strengthens your mind rather than pollutes it. And above all, no aimless phone scrolling. Your phone will still be there after you've taken control of your mind. But here's the key, this isn't just about productivity. It's about identity. When you own your morning, you're telling yourself, "I am the kind of person who leads, not follows. Who acts, not reacts." That identity seeps into everything you do. The way you speak. The way you work. The way you face challenges. Ask yourself, if a stranger watched only my first hour of the day, would they know I'm in control of my life? Or would they see someone already under the control of the world? This one shift, protecting the first hour, is the foundation on which the other 11 steps will stand. Without it, you're building discipline on shaky ground. With it, you're telling your mind and your actions, "I decide how this day will go." So tomorrow morning, before your feet even touch the floor, remember this Stoic command: win the morning, win the day. Step 2. Embrace voluntary discomfort. In a world obsessed with comfort, discipline begins where comfort ends. The Stoics knew this well. Seneca wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which ye shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, Is this the condition I feared?" Why would a man who had wealth and influence choose to live like he had nothing? Because he understood the truth. Comfort makes you soft, but discomfort makes you unshakable. Here's the problem: most people spend their entire lives running from discomfort. They avoid the cold. They avoid hunger. They avoid hard conversations, difficult workouts, or any challenge that might test them. And yet they wonder why their willpower crumbles the moment life throws them something unexpected. The Stoics flipped this. They sought out discomfort, not because they were masochists, but because they knew it was training for the soul. How can you apply this? Start small. Take a cold shower, not for the health trend, but to remind yourself that you can choose discomfort willingly. Skip a meal once in a while and see that hunger won't kill you, it will sharpen you. Sleep without the extra pillow. Walk instead of driving. Wake up earlier than necessary. And when your mind starts screaming for you to quit, lean in. Because in that moment, you're not just building toughness, you're building trust in yourself. Discipline isn't just about doing the right thing when it's easy, it's about doing the hard thing when no one is watching, when every part of you wants to stop. By practicing discomfort, you stop fearing it. You stop letting it control you. And suddenly, you can walk into a storm, physical or emotional, and stay calm, because you've been there before. Ask yourself, if all my comforts were taken away tomorrow, would I still be able to stand tall? Or have I built my identity on pillows and warm blankets? True success in Stoic philosophy and in life, doesn't come from luxury, but from the ability to thrive without it. This step isn't glamorous, but it's powerful. Every time you choose discomfort voluntarily, you're training for the battles you cannot predict. Remember, if you can face what's hard by choice, you'll be ready for what's hard by fate. Step 3. Master the power of daily reflection. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This wasn't poetic fluff. This was a Stoic weapon. Reflection is not about staring at your life like a passive observer. It's about examining your thoughts, actions, and intentions with a surgeon's precision. The truth is, most people live like they're on autopilot. They wake up, scroll through their phones, rush through their day, and collapse into bed, with no pause to consider if they're actually living well. And here's the danger: a life that is never examined will always drift toward chaos. The Stoics knew that discipline is impossible without awareness. How can you control yourself if you don't even notice when you're slipping? Reflection is the tool that catches you before you lose control. It's the mirror that shows not your face, but your soul. Here's how you can practice it. Morning clarity. Before the world grabs your attention, ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? What virtues will I practice? Patience, courage, honesty. This sets your mental compass before you take a single step. Midday check-in. Life can drag you into distractions and emotions. Take a short pause to breathe and ask, am I living according to my intentions, or am I being pulled by impulse? Evening review. Before sleep, go through your day in your mind. Not to judge yourself harshly, but to learn. Ask, where did I do well? Where did I fail? And how can I improve tomorrow? Seneca practiced this every night. Reflection is not about guilt, it's about growth. It's about making sure your days are not just passing, but building something. Here's a question to keep in mind. If someone read the story of my life based only on my actions today, would it be a story worth reading? The disciplined man doesn't just act, he observes, he learns, he adjusts. Without reflection, success becomes luck. With reflection, success becomes inevitable. Remember, an unexamined day is a wasted opportunity. A reflected day is a step toward mastery. Step 4. Control your inner dialogue. The battlefield of discipline is not out there, it's in your head. Every single action you take begins as a thought. If you lose control over your inner dialogue, you lose control over your life. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Epictetus said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about things." Think about it, two people can face the same challenge. One crumbles, saying, "This is impossible." The other thrives, saying, "This is hard, but I can handle it." The difference is not in the situation, but in the conversation they're having with themselves. Your mind is always speaking to you. The question is it speaking as your ally, or as your enemy? Here's how to train your inner dialogue for discipline. Filter the noise. The modern world feeds us thoughts we didn't ask for: fear, doubt, outrage. A disciplined mind learns to pause and ask, is this thought true? Is it useful? If not, discard it. Replace weak language. Stop saying, "I have to." Start saying, "I choose to." It's a subtle shift that changes you from a victim to a master of your actions. Turn obstacles into challenges. Instead of, "I can't," say, "How can I?" This rewires your brain to look for solutions instead of excuses. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to meet life's blows with reason, not emotion. That doesn't mean suppressing feelings, it means refusing to let emotions be the driver of your actions. The truth is, you will always have thoughts trying to pull you away from your goals. Some will whisper comfort, "You've worked enough today, take it easy." Others will shout fear, "What if you fail?" The disciplined person doesn't silence these voices, he challenges them. Here's a powerful daily exercise. For 1 week, Keep a small notebook or use your phone to write down every self-limiting thought you notice. Then, rewrite each one into a thought that serves your growth. For example, I'm not good enough, I'm still learning, but I can improve. This is too hard, this is my opportunity to grow stronger. By mastering your inner dialogue, you stop being the victim of your own mind. You become its commander. And when your thoughts are disciplined, your actions will follow. Ask yourself tonight, if my thoughts were a coach, would I hire them or fire them? Step 5. Master the art of delayed gratification. If step 4 is about mastering your mind's words, step 5 is about mastering your mind's cravings. Discipline is the ability to choose what you want most over what you want now. And this is where most people fail, not because they are weak, but because they never trained themselves to wait. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology proved it. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." And one of the ways we waste life is by chasing small, quick pleasures instead of building great, lasting victories. Think about how the modern world works. It's built to feed you instant rewards. Social media gives you a dopamine hit with every like. Food delivery apps give you comfort in 20 minutes. Streaming platforms give you endless entertainment with zero effort. But all of these, now, pleasures train your brain to avoid patience, to fear boredom, to crave immediacy. The Stoic path is the opposite. It says, don't run from discomfort. Don't chase quick fixes. Learn to sit with the hunger for more, and let it make you stronger. Here's why delayed gratification is essential for discipline. It builds mental toughness. Every time you resist an easy pleasure, you strengthen the muscle of self-control. It increases long-term rewards. When you can wait, you can invest your energy into something that compounds over time, whether that's fitness, skill, wealth, or mastery. It keeps you free. If you can't say no to temptation, you are not free, you are a slave to it. A powerful Stoic-inspired exercise is the chosen fast. Once or twice a month, voluntarily give up something you enjoy, a certain food, a luxury, a comfort, not because you have to, but because you choose to. Epictetus advised this to remind yourself that you can be content with less, and to remove fear of losing what you love. Here's the key, this isn't about punishing yourself. It's about reminding your mind that you are in control, not your cravings. That extra slice of cake. That impulse purchase. That need to check your phone every 5 minutes. None of these own you, unless you let them. Next time you're faced with the choice between an easy now and a better later, ask yourself, will this matter in a week? In a year? In 10 years? If the answer is no, let it go. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. To that, we can add, if it is not worth it in the long run, do not choose it. Discipline is built in these small, invisible victories, the moments where no one is watching, but you choose patience anyway. Step 6. Train your body to strengthen your mind. The Stoics believed the mind and body were inseparable in the pursuit of discipline. Epictetus famously compared life to a rigorous training ground, a place where both mental and physical strength are forged through effort, not comfort. If your body is weak, it becomes harder to command your mind. If your mind is unfocused, your body becomes lazy. Modern science agrees, your physical habits directly influence your emotional resilience, focus, and ability to handle stress. Lack of sleep, poor diet, and inactivity make you more reactive, more anxious, and more likely to break discipline when things get tough. The Stoic perspective wasn't about vanity or chasing perfect abs. It was about capability. A strong, well-trained body is a vehicle for a strong, disciplined life. If your health collapses, so does your ability to lead, create, or endure hardship. Marcus Aurelius practiced simple but consistent physical training, often reminding himself, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Training your body creates these very impediments, resistance, fatigue, discomfort, and teaches you to transform them into progress. Practical Stoic-inspired habits for physical discipline. Move every day. It doesn't need to be an hour in the gym. The Stoics would value a brisk walk, bodyweight training, stretching, or even manual labor. The key is daily, consistent motion. Practice voluntary hardship. Occasionally push your body beyond comfort. This might mean cold showers, carrying heavy objects, or long hikes without breaks. The aim is to prove to yourself that you can endure more than you think. Guard your sleep. Seneca wrote about the importance of a mind that rests well to function at its peak. In modern terms, sleep is non-negotiable for discipline. Protect it as you would your most valuable meeting. Eat with intention. Food should serve your goals, not sabotage them. Avoid the trap of emotional eating. Seneca cautioned against indulgence, noting that pleasure often turns into slavery. Breathe with awareness. Breath control isn't just for meditation, it's a tool for emotional stability. Deep, slow breathing in moments of stress can keep you from reacting impulsively. Why this matters for discipline. When your body is strong and your health is supported, you remove a huge number of excuses from your life. You're less likely to say, "I'm too tired, I'm too sore," or "I can't focus." You have the energy to do what needs to be done, and that energy feeds back into your mental resilience. Think of it this way: every rep, every disciplined meal, every early night's sleep is a vote for your future self. These small daily acts add up to an identity. I am someone who takes care of myself. I am someone who endures. I am someone who is ready for the challenges ahead. The Stoics didn't see fitness as optional. They saw it as moral duty, because a strong body serves not just you, but your family, your community, and your mission. So the next time you're tempted to skip that walk, eat without thought, or sacrifice sleep for another hour of scrolling, ask yourself, what would the disciplined version of me choose? Then make that choice. Step 7. Control your tongue, control your life. The Stoics believed that one of the greatest marks of discipline was mastery over speech. Words, once released, cannot be taken back. They have the power to heal, inspire, and build trust, but also to destroy relationships, damage reputations, and stir unnecessary conflict. Epictetus warned, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In the Stoic worldview, talking less wasn't about being shy, it was about being deliberate. The disciplined person doesn't waste words on gossip, pointless arguments, or emotional outbursts. They speak with purpose, precision, and integrity. Why speech discipline matters. In our modern world, where social media encourages instant reactions, practicing restraint is more valuable than ever. One impulsive comment can trigger a chain reaction of misunderstandings, hurt feelings, and wasted mental energy. The Stoics would see this as giving away control of your inner peace. By mastering your tongue, you master your relationships. You become someone whose words carry weight because they are rare and thoughtful. People listen when you speak because you don't speak just to fill the air. Marcus Aurelius practiced this in his own leadership. As emperor, he faced constant pressure, criticism, and provocation, yet he rarely responded with anger. Instead, he reminded himself, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Practical Stoic habits for speech discipline. Pause before responding. In conversation, take a moment before you answer. Even a 2-second pause can prevent you from saying something you'll regret. Ask, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If your words don't meet at least 2 of these 3 tests, the Stoics would likely advise silence. Listen with full attention, don't just wait for your turn to talk. Discipline your mind to really understand what's being said. Avoid gossip entirely. Gossip not only harms others but erodes your own credibility. Seneca described it as a waste of valuable energy that could be directed toward self-improvement. Use words as tools, not weapons. Choose language that builds bridges, clarifies ideas, and resolves problems, rather than escalating them. A Stoic exercise for the tongue. Spend one day speaking only when necessary. This doesn't mean ignoring people, it means cutting out filler, avoiding complaints, and resisting the urge to give your opinion on everything. At the end of the day, reflect, did you feel calmer? Did you avoid unnecessary conflict? You may be surprised at how much mental space opens up. The deeper power of silence. The Stoics didn't see silence as weakness, they saw it as strength. Resisting the urge to react verbally is an act of self-control. When you hold your tongue, you hold your power. No one can twist your words if you haven't spoken them. In a noisy world where everyone is trying to be heard, discipline yourself to be the one who listens, thinks, and speaks only when it matters. This not only sets you apart but also makes your contributions far more valuable. So ask yourself, am I speaking to add value, or just to be heard? The disciplined Stoic chooses the former every time. Step 8. Own your morning, own your life. The Stoics understood that how you begin your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Marcus Aurelius started many entries in his meditations with reminders to himself about how to face the day ahead. He would prepare his mind for challenges before they arrived, knowing that a disciplined start builds resilience against chaos. He wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This wasn't poetic fluff. It was a mental armor. By grounding himself in gratitude and clarity, he fortified his mind for whatever the day brought. Why mornings matter in discipline. Think of mornings as a launch pad. If the launch is sloppy, rushed, or distracted, the whole mission risks failure. But if you take off with precision and focus, you give yourself a better chance of navigating the day's turbulence. In today's world, it's easy to wake up and immediately check your phone, scroll through news or social media, and start your day reacting to the world instead of leading it. This is the opposite of Stoic discipline. A Stoic morning is intentional. It is a conscious choice to begin with control, not chaos. The Stoic morning ritual. Here's how you can apply a morning routine inspired by ancient wisdom. Rise with purpose, avoid hitting the snooze button. The first victory of the day is simply getting up when you plan to. This act reinforces your identity as someone who does what they say they will do. Practice early reflection. Before diving into tasks, spend a few quiet minutes thinking about the day ahead. Marcus Aurelius visualized the people he might meet and the potential difficulties he could face. This practice, known as premeditatio malorum, allowed him to meet challenges calmly because he had already rehearsed them in his mind. Strengthen the body to strengthen the mind. The Stoics valued physical health because it supported mental clarity. A short workout, a stretch, or even a brisk walk primes your body and wakes up your mind. Feed the mind before the noise begins. Instead of starting your day with random internet content, read something that builds your thinking, a page from a Stoic text, a passage of philosophy, or even your own journal reflections from the day before. Set your intention. The Stoics didn't try to control the outcome of every situation, but they set intentions for their actions and attitudes. You might say, "Today I will focus on acting with patience," or "Today I will not waste time on what I cannot control." A powerful Stoic exercise. At the start of your morning, write down the 3 things that truly matter most for the day. These aren't just tasks, they are priorities that, if accomplished, will make the day feel successful regardless of distractions. This prevents you from being pulled in 100 directions and ensures you direct your energy toward what counts. The danger of passive mornings. Without discipline, mornings are easily lost to procrastination and reaction. You wake up late, rush through getting ready, and carry a sense of being behind all day. The Stoics would call this allowing fortune to dictate your life instead of reason. They believe that the first hour of the day belongs entirely to you. It is your time to prepare your mind, set your course, and claim control before the demands of others arrive. Your challenge. Tomorrow, take ownership of your morning. Resist the temptation to start with distractions. Instead, follow a deliberate routine. Notice how it changes your mental state, your productivity, and your ability to handle unexpected challenges. Because the truth is simple: if you can't master your mornings, you can't master your days. And if you can't master your days, you'll never master your life. Step 9. Master the art of saying no. One of the most overlooked aspects of discipline is the ability to protect your time and energy. The Stoics understood that life is short, and attention is our most precious resource. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Think about that for a moment. If you truly lived with the awareness that your time is finite, how much of it would you willingly give to pointless obligations, draining conversations, or activities that take you further from your purpose? Wide no is a disciplined superpower. Saying yes feels easier in the moment because it avoids conflict, pleases others, and makes us seem agreeable. But every yes is also a no to something else, often to your own priorities. The Stoics were not people pleasers. They were seekers of truth and virtue. If something did not align with their values, they declined it, no matter how socially uncomfortable it felt. Seneca warned, "We are always complaining that our days are few, and acting as though there will be no end of them." This is the tragedy of modern life, filling our schedules with trivial obligations while ignoring the work that matters most. The cost of saying yes too often. When you say yes without thinking, you give away your focus, leading to scattered attention and unfinished tasks. Your energy, leaving you drained before you've done anything meaningful. Your freedom, allowing other people's agendas to replace your own. And here's the hardest truth: the more you say yes to things that don't matter, the less capable you become of saying yes to the opportunities that truly do. A Stoic framework for decision-making. Before you agree to anything, ask yourself 3 questions. Does this align with my values? If it contradicts your principles, the answer is no. Does this serve my long-term goals? If it's just short-term noise, the answer is no. Will I still want to do this when the time comes? Many commitments sound good in theory but feel like a burden later. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to act according to reason, not impulse. Saying no is not selfish, it is an act of clarity. It means you've weighed the request against your highest priorities and decided to protect them. How to say no without guilt. The Stoics taught that your peace of mind matters more than avoiding awkwardness. That doesn't mean being rude or dismissive, it means being direct and respectful. Here are a few ways to decline without burning bridges. I appreciate the offer, but I can't commit right now. Thank you, but my focus is elsewhere at the moment. That's not something I can take on, but I hope it goes well. Notice how each response is honest but still considerate. Your challenge for this week: keep a journal of every time you agree to something. At the end of the day, review the list and ask, was this truly worth my time? If the answer is no more than yes, you found a leak in your discipline. Stoic discipline is not about filling your calendar, it's about clearing it so that you can live intentionally. When you learn to say no to the unimportant, you say yes to a life of purpose, strength, and focus. So ask yourself right now, what could you stop doing today that would free up the time and energy to finally pursue what matters most? Step 10. Train the mind like a warrior. Discipline is not just about habits, it's about building a mind that remains steady under pressure. The Stoics saw mental strength as the foundation of all other virtues. You can have talent, resources, and opportunities, but if your mind collapses under stress, everything else will follow. Marcus Aurelius compared life to a battlefield. Every day, you wake up and face challenges, temptations, distractions, and unexpected blows. The difference between those who thrive and those who crumble is not luck, it's preparation. The daily battle within. The Stoics knew that the greatest battles are fought inside our own heads. Doubt, fear, laziness, resentment, these are the silent enemies. Epictetus taught that while you can't control the world, you can absolutely control how you respond to it. If you want to live with discipline, you must train your mind daily, just as a warrior sharpens their sword. Without constant sharpening, even the finest blade becomes dull. Free Stoic practices for mental strength. First, morning mental rehearsal. Before the day begins, prepare for difficulty. Imagine the challenges ahead: delays, criticism, disappointment, failure. Accept them in advance, so when they arrive, they don't shock you. Marcus Aurelius began his mornings this way, reminding himself, "You will meet with the ungrateful, the arrogant, the deceitful, but they cannot harm you unless you allow it." Second, emotional regulation training. When something frustrates you, pause. Do not speak, do not act immediately. Count your breaths, look at the situation as if you were an outsider. Ask, will this matter in a week? A month? A year? This simple pause can save you from impulsive words and actions you'll regret. Third, voluntary hardship. The Stoics practiced small acts of discomfort, cold baths, fasting, physical exertion, not to punish themselves, but to build resilience. When you train your mind to be at ease in discomfort, real challenges lose their power over you. The link between mental discipline and freedom. Many people believe freedom means doing whatever you want. The Stoics believed the opposite. Freedom is doing what is right, even when you don't feel like it. And that requires mental discipline. When your mind is trained, you're not a slave to your impulses. You don't get carried away by anger, trapped by fear, or weakened by doubt. You act from reason, not emotion. That is true power. Your challenge for this week: treat your mind like a muscle. Give it daily workouts. Read something that challenges your perspective. Practice moments of silence and reflection. Expose yourself to mild discomfort. Catch negative thoughts and replace them with constructive ones. This is not a one-day task. It's a lifelong commitment. Every moment you strengthen your mind, you build an unshakable foundation for every other part of your life. Ask yourself, if you faced your hardest day tomorrow, would your mind be ready? If the answer is no, then your training begins now. Step 11. Align actions with your core values. If discipline is the engine, values are the compass. Without a clear sense of direction, all the discipline in the world can lead you to the wrong place. The Stoics taught that every action should align with the principles you hold most dear, otherwise, you're simply chasing noise. Marcus Aurelius warned against living according to the approval of others. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This sounds simple, but in practice, it is one of the hardest disciplines to master. Why values matter for discipline. Without values, discipline becomes mechanical. You wake up early, you work hard, but you may be building someone else's dream instead of your own. Values give meaning to effort. They answer the question, why am I doing this? When you know your values, making decisions becomes easier. You no longer waste energy on endless debates with yourself. If an action violates your values, you reject it instantly. If it aligns with them, you commit fully. The Stoic process of alignment. First, define your core principles. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? Is it honesty, courage, compassion, justice? Narrow it down to 3 to 5 values you're willing to defend even under pressure. Second, audit your current life. Compare your daily actions with your stated values. If you value health, are you eating and moving in ways that support it? If you value honesty, do you tell the truth even when it's uncomfortable? This self-audit is confronting, but essential. Third, set non-negotiables. Once you know your values, create boundaries around them. For example, if family time is a value, you might set a rule: no work calls after dinner. Protect these non-negotiables like your life depends on it, because the life you truly want does depend on it. The discipline-value connection. When your discipline is fueled by values, it no longer feels like a chore. Waking up early to work on your craft isn't a sacrifice, it's an expression of who you are. Refusing gossip isn't restraint, it's living your value of integrity. The Stoics believe this alignment brings the deepest form of peace, because you're no longer living in conflict with yourself. And when your inner world is united, the outer chaos loses much of its power. Practical exercise. Tonight, take a sheet of paper and write the 3 values I will live by, no matter what. Beneath each, write one action you will take daily to embody it. Put this somewhere visible. Every morning, read it before you start your day. A final reflection. Ask yourself, if someone watched my life for a week, could they clearly see my values in my actions? If the answer is no, what changes will I make starting tomorrow? Step 12. Live each day as if it were your last. The final Stoic step isn't about rushing through life in a frenzy. It's about urgency with purpose. The Stoics, from Seneca to Epictetus to Marcus Aurelius, repeatedly reminded themselves of a simple, sobering truth: time is finite. We don't know how many mornings we have left, how many sunsets we will witness, or how many chances we'll get to speak our truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now." Let that determine what you do and say and think. This isn't morbid, it's liberating. When you understand that each day could be your last, you stop wasting time on meaningless distractions, petty arguments, and complaints about what you can't control. Why this changes everything. Living with the awareness of mortality focuses your discipline like nothing else. Suddenly, skipping your goals, just for today, feels like robbing your future self. Procrastination loses its seductive pull. You understand that the perfect moment will never arrive, you must create it now. Seneca put it perfectly, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. This is your invitation to stop wasting it. The Stoic application. First, begin your day with mortality in mind. Not to dwell on fear, but to sharpen your focus. Ask, if today were my last, how would I want to live it? You'll be surprised how many trivial worries vanish under that lens. Second, prioritize your highest value actions. Every day, choose the 1 or 2 actions that truly matter, the ones that bring you closer to your vision, strengthen your relationships, and leave a mark you'd be proud of. Do these first, before the noise of the world drowns them out. Third, leave nothing important unsaid. If there's gratitude you haven't expressed, a project you've delayed, or a wrong you've left uncorrected, act on it today. The discipline of urgency. When you live with this mindset, discipline stops being a struggle. You no longer need endless motivation because you feel the weight of time. You realize each hour is an investment you can never get back, and you spend it wisely. Practical exercise. Tonight, write down one thing you would regret not doing if this were your last week alive. Then, commit to starting it tomorrow morning. Small steps are fine, what matters is that you begin. Closing reflection. This is the essence of Stoic discipline: clarity of values, strength of mind, and the courage to act now, not later. If you can align your days with what truly matters, you will not only succeed, you will live with peace, knowing you didn't waste your most precious resource. So, take these 12 steps and make them yours. Apply them today, and tomorrow, and every day after. Your future self is waiting, and it will thank you. And before you go, if this journey resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments. Your insight could be the spark someone else needs. Subscribe so you don't miss the next lesson, because together, we're building a community of resilient, disciplined minds that refuse to waste a single day.